Hey guys, it's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, I'll explain it right now. Well, boys and girls, the day was July 20th, 1990. Oh, wait, never mind. Let's fast forward a little bit. The day was November 13th of 2024, I should say. And a buddy of mine texted me, let's go try skateboarding. We've been looking for things to do and we came up with that idea. So I went to try it. First time really trying skateboarding. Went, did it. Here's some clips of right away in the beginning. Me trying to learn how to turn, try to balance, try to learn the basics.
Yeah, trying to figure it out. Yeah, you're doing better than most people, yo.
So I was outside of the indoor skate park, and I was just kind of by myself, trying to figure it out on my own. And granted, the owner of the place, he was really cool, really chill, taught me some things. That's a little bit more than what I originally thought he was going to do. And so I got a lot of basic tips from him, which helped a lot. And then some of those ramps outside, I tried going down them. It worked out good. I just went, it was flat on top and just went straight down. Worked out perfectly. And then that's when people started coming outside. It was good enough outside, and then nobody was inside. So I was like, well, I'm blocking everybody else trying to learn. So I went inside to try to learn again. So me and my buddy were just sitting there, and we're on top of the half pipe. And I was like, I kind of want to try it. What better way to do something than to try it? And if I don't try it, I ain't succeeding or I ain't growing. And one of my biggest things are, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, is that I'm trying to progress with my confidence. That's one thing that I'm doing with YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, so I wanted to work on my confidence, so I went with it. First time I went, and here's the clip. Right before I went the first time, my buddy, he gave me his helmet. We didn't have any helmets, so he gave me his military helmet, his army helmet. Yeah, so that's why I had an actual helmet on. Otherwise, I wasn't having a helmet. I was afraid that I was going to crack my head open. So in the video right here, this is where me moving over, because I was scared that I was going to hit my head against something right against the wall. So I moved over. I went, and the board didn't come with me. The wheels, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never did it before. So I put the wheels behind it. That way I can be balanced. And then I went, and the board stayed up. I just ran down the ramp, as you just seen. Then the second attempt went a little bit better. Started going down the ramp, but then the board still came with me, but it was later. I started running down the ramp, and the board followed. Third time, I got the board lined up, got everything ready, and started going. Board came with me. Well, actually, at first it lagged, and I stayed on, and it came with me. And again, I was doing it wrong. The wheels were behind the rail thingy. Came with me and made it down, but I've never done this before. So all my weight was still towards the back, because I was standing, and then you push your weight down, and the board comes, and then you're still afraid, so your weight is back. So all my weight was towards the back, and it succeeded down to the bottom, to the transition, and that's when the board accelerated, and I didn't, because my weight's at the back. So valuable lesson, don't have your weight at the back. Weight more towards the front. Anyways, foot came off, slipped off, and I'll pause it right there because it doesn't need to be moved further. I don't think YouTube can play this. I don't know any of the rules and regulations, and I want to be unsafe. So foot came off, it started rotating, and that's when it popped out of place, and it broke the fibula on the bottom, right in that ball area, and then also broke the fibula up here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but somewhere up there. So it broke twice, and my foot went completely 180, and it was pretty painful. I got up, and I wish I could show this part, because this is literally how I am as a person. As soon as I get hurt, I get up and try running it off. And I couldn't even get off the ground. I lifted myself up, pushed forward with my right foot, and then tried hitting the ground with my left foot. And my left foot, right before it hits the ground, I'm looking at my foot, seeing it's at 90 degrees. tried to avoid the ground, but I missed and hit the ball that's now out of place onto the ground, and it shooting pain. Like there was pain before, but that was even worse. And so I just rolled to the ground, laid over my, just held my foot to the air. My buddy didn't notice my foot yet. In the video, it literally looked like nothing. But when you slow it down, you can really see it. But anyways, my buddy came up to me, holding my leg. He's like, good? That's when I was like, look at my foot. Look at my foot.
My foot, look at my foot. Chill, you good?
He looks at my foot. He knew instantly that he needed to get some people. Let's get me to the hospital. Well, at first he was like, "We get an ambulance?" I'm like, "No, we don't need an ambulance. Just bring me." So they get me up on my foot, and they're holding me up while I'm just hopping. And then they're like, we should carry him. But yeah, that's when I'm getting hopped along, and then that's when they're like, we should carry this guy. So my buddy and a different guy starts carrying me out the door, and my foot's still just dangling there. And as soon as they started picking me up, I got really lightheaded, and I don't know, it just everything started going black, you know, like the peripherals started fading, and I'm like, I'm not blacking out from this. So I just, like, I don't know, put my strength, my mental strength into it, and just didn't black out. I just started slowly coming back again. That's when I started seeing like stars, like these pebbles or whatever in the sky, and just everywhere. Then I started hearing a slight faint ring in my ear. After a little bit, it starts getting a little bit louder, and then the next thing I know, I can't hear anyone. I'm just being held there, and right before I couldn't hear anything, they're like, "I'm gonna get the car, here, sit down." So right before I sit down, there's somebody holding me. I'm still just in his arms like this, just looking at his face, and no idea who this dude is. And he goes, I can kind of read his lips. "What do you need? Anything? Or something like that?" So I'm like, "I need water." I just need water. So they ran and got me water. They sat me down, and I couldn't hear anyone at this point. That's when I could see my buddy pulling back up with the vehicle, because he had to run to get the vehicle. It's a little ways down the street. Ran to get the vehicle, brought it to me, and that's when I could start hearing again. So I could hear, we got in the vehicle, and we drove to the hospital. And another instinct of mine, when I show pain, I like to counteract it with showing humor. I don't remember things I said, but I was just making jokes to my buddy as he's driving me, and then pain kicks on and off, especially every bump. That was the worst. We were on this side road. The road was rough, let's put it that way. And yeah, it was kind of painful. Then it goes away, and then when we were stopped at this one stoplight right before we got to the hospital, it was taking forever, and that's when my muscles started twitching very aggressively. And again, my foot's at 90 degrees. It's supposed to be here. It's over here. And I think I could probably show this picture. This is a picture I took while I was getting driven to the hospital. It doesn't look bad in the picture, as you can tell. Get to the hospital, and he runs inside to get a wheelchair. They come out, help me onto the wheelchair as I'm already out of the vehicle. I started getting out of the vehicle because I'm like, I'm a strong, independent woman, and brought myself out. I'm standing there with my foot just dangling, and I'm like, never mind, I can't do this. So I try crawling back in the vehicle. That was even worse. And so I'm just hanging out the vehicle, just holding onto the door, hanging onto the roof rack, and like one foot out, my foot that's hurt, just trying to sit on this chair without hurting. That was not going well. And that's when they got me with the wheelchair. Put me on the wheelchair, and the best way for me was sitting sideways, leg on top of the other leg like this, just holding up my foot. It was the most comfortable but awkwardest sitting position ever. We get inside. I don't have my glasses on. I took off my glasses. We get in there. Didn't have glasses on, but I could see kind of like the faces, and I could see all four nurses that's running the front desk, and all of them are kind of like, what? What is this guy? And then I'm like, I'll diagnose it for y'all. It's crooked. That's the first comment I made. And they're like, okay, what's your date of birth? Blah, 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 blah. And so get all that. Then there's other people waiting in the ER waiting room, and they brought me in right away. It's a weird feeling, like being just coming to the hospital and being rushed in kind of. Anyways, get in this room, and that's when it floods with doctors and nurses, and there's probably like 4 or 5 nurses and doctors in that room, and they take x-rays. I even, like, at one point right after the x-rays, I think, no, it was before the x-rays, it was only the one nurse in the room, and I go, hey, do you mind taking a photo of my foot real quick? I wish I could show those photos. Those are great photos of what actually my foot looked like. It was bad. It's a bad photo, and it's actually not a good photo for YouTube. I'm sitting in this room by myself, and the doctor comes in right after the x-rays before putting the foot back into place and stuff. I don't know what I was thinking, but a lot was on my mind at that moment. And after the x-rays, he's like, okay, your foot's broken. You might need surgery. They're going to review it at the foot doctor or the orthopedics or whatever. He starts naming things that's going to have to happen. And my brain just broke. I don't know. I started crying a little bit. Like, and never even cried for the pain, nothing. Like, pain was brutal. But the thing that made me cry was the fact that I'm broken. I had less than $100 in my pocket at that point. Don't get me wrong, I'm so broke. I barely have much more than that, but at least I'd have more than $100. And yeah, I started just crying because I'm like, I don't want to pay for this. I can't. And this is still before my foot's back into place, and I'm like, I can't do this. Anyways, they after that, like, got my thoughts back together. All the nurses back in the room, blah blah blah, and then that's when they like not long later went to sleep. They had to give me anesthesia to put my foot back into place. Yeah, so I woke up and it's weird feeling. Like, I still had shoe on my one foot. I still had pants on. That shoe and sock were gone already before I went to sleep. Wake up, pants is gone, shoe is gone, sock is gone. What happened? Wake up, my buddy's sitting in this chair next to me. I asked him right away, like, get me my pants. I kind of want to put that back on. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. I still have work in the morning. Granted, I didn't go to work the next day. I was in a lot of pain. I got the x-rays, and this was after they put the foot back, and they didn't even look that bad, honestly. Didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, this ain't even that bad. I might not even have to have surgery or anything, you know? Like, it barely broke. Yeah, turns out, I'll show the picture right here. That is my foot when it was sideways when they took the x-ray. And yeah, it's broken, like, really big and brutal. So yeah, they ended up having to do surgery. Let's fast forward a couple of days. So that first day after putting the foot back into place was brutal. I literally could not move, couldn't do anything. Throbbing pain everywhere. Like, it was more brutal then than when I broke my foot. Literally sat in my bed, and my screen time was literally 14 hours for that day. It was horrible, and it made me feel like shit. Then the next day, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to work. I went to work right away. Went to work, worked that whole day, and it snowed for the first time, and I'm on crutches, you know, all that stuff, and it's like, okay, why am I going to work? But did it anyways, and yeah, it was nice to actually do stuff instead of sitting there doing nothing. Then the weekend came. It was so bad. I sat there and I couldn't move, couldn't walk around, couldn't do anything. It was hard to sleep. Like, I probably got average like an hour and a half of sleep, and then I'd be up. Then go back to sleep another hour later, and then another hour and a half of sleep, and wake up. It was a constant cycle, and work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was so bad that next week. It was just, I couldn't get good sleep. It was a lot of pain. Tried to keep my foot elevated. It was just a lot. So my parents came up here in Fargo, and surgery on Thursday. So they came up Wednesday night, and they're sleeping in the living room at my place here. And I was in my bedroom, and I couldn't sleep on the bed because, like, I didn't have a bed frame. Also, I finally got a bed frame. I moved up in the world, literally. Anyways, I didn't have a bed frame, so I was literally sleeping on the ground because it was more comfortable. Because I had to basically lay down onto the ground, roll over. Because the best way to lay down when you can't use your foot at all is just go forward, catch yourself with your hand on your elbows, and then roll over. Now you're laying down. Now, trying to get out of my bed. It's like, okay, I gotta lift myself up and push myself over. Well, that was just too much, and it was just, I didn't want to wreck my bed and all that stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to lay on the floor. So I slept on the floor, fell on my bed, and elevated. And yeah, it was still a lot of pain. And the night before my surgery, I couldn't sleep. I had to be up at 5 in the morning, and I didn't go to bed till 2:30. I couldn't fall asleep. That whole time. I wish I took videos of me during these times. I just laid there and I was fearing of what could happen. Like, I'm not fearing the surgery itself, I'm fearing of the after. I have a buddy that had foot surgery and broke his foot and stuff like that, and he can't run to this day. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. And I want to be able to run. That's one thing I want. I want to be able to run with my future kids and be able to be there, do active things. I want to be there for, my future wife, like hiking. I want to do a lot of things in life, and I can't do that if I can't run. I love running. Yeah, so I was just fearing that a lot. And we get to the hospital the next day for the surgery, and that was my first question. I'm like, will I be able to run? And I was looking up the night before. Likelihood is really good, but there's still that small possibility. And they even said the same thing. Well, they didn't say that, but they're like, it's a really strong possibility. Yeah, so I'm still fearing it. We're in the room or whatever. The nurse struggled putting my IV in. Like, she couldn't find my veins. Like, I wish my veins were showing right now. Oh yeah, it is. Like, you can see my veins prominently. I don't know if you guys can, but I can because I'm looking at them. And she couldn't find them. So I think you have to put your IV in your hand. I don't know. But like my veins, I can see in my hand. And so she tried in my left hand for some reason, and she missed. And then she tried a little up more. She couldn't find them. Then she finally tried up here, and it just hurt so much. And it took away the pain from the foot, but still a lot of pain. After that, doctor came in, signed his name or whatever. So they started bringing me they introduced me to everybody that's going to be in the room. But it's weird to me because, like, I'm not going to see you guys. I'm not going to know you guys. Why do I need to know you before my surgery? It's like, I'm going to be in there asleep. Oh, and let's get back. Hang on. The hospital gowns. I absolutely hate those. I'm self-conscious and not confident, whatever. And my biggest thing is my body. I'm self-conscious on my body. And you're in this hospital gown that's cloth, like not even cloth, it's like paper. And it's completely open in the back, and like you're laying on this bed that's completely open, so you're trying to hide so people can't see your no-no area. And so I'm just like hunkered down, just holding everything down basically. And they bring me through the hallway to the operating room, and they bring me in this room, all the lights, and lights are off at this point. But then they bring me up to this table that's just sitting there that doesn't move, and I have to basically crawl myself onto that table because my IV's in this hand, so I'm trying to not use this hand at all. So I'm just like, I grab the end of the table, drag myself, lift up my leg so I can get onto the table, push up myself. There are like these two little blocks for your feet. And so I put my feet in there, and we got ready, and then I'm like, I'm so cold. I'm just sitting there just shivering. It's so cold in that room. Plus, it doesn't help that you're basically naked. And I literally remember them putting 2 blankets on me, these cloth blankets or whatever. And that was it. I was out. Woke up in this room filled with other patients that either had surgery or stuff like that. And it's just, it's probably empty. I don't remember. I was barely awake in this room. I woke up looking around. I just remember looking at everything, trying to take it all in. And then there's this nurse. It's very dark also in this room. and there's this nurse right by my feet pretty much at the computer, and she sees me awake, and I don't remember what she said. I don't remember anything about that, but and then I was just out again. I was also very tired. I don't know if that's part of it, and also on top of that with the anesthesia, woke back up, don't know when, how long later, and I'm in this different weight of like patient room, and wake up, and I think the nurse was already in the room, or she was just coming in when I woke up, and my mouth is so dry. I'm like, can I have water now? Because they wouldn't let you have water before surgery and blah, blah, blah. So get water, and I felt bad for this nurse. So my leg kept going numb with, especially after the surgery. And it was like, because I'm trying to elevate my foot, but also trying not to that much because hip started going numb, which came to my whole leg. And so I just constantly was just asking for help, like, hey, readjust me, or hey, can I get more water? Because they give you like this small cup, and yeah, you barely get any water, and you're already gone. You're like, okay, can I get more? Yeah, and then later on, they asked if I wanted my parents. I'm like, I don't want anyone in the room. I just want to be by myself, try to get some sleep. I thought they would talk to my parents. They did not. They didn't tell my parents anything. There's a board in the waiting room. They said I was out of the room or out of surgery, blah, blah. And so they got concerned after an hour and a half. But anyways, yeah, I asked the nurse a lot of help. Feel really bad if she happens to be watching this. Feel really bad. Hope my humor helped a little bit. And then at one point, like after a while, it was just constant, my leg going numb. So she's like, we help walking it off. Not, this leg walking, but just walking on crutches. So she helps me up, and I hated this part. Like, I don't mind it, but also like the fact that I had to go out into hallways with other people. It was kind of, to me, just like, I don't want to do this. Start walking with her. She's holding the back shut so that nobody could see my butt and everything. Yeah, we walked down the hall probably like 15 feet, and I'm like, I gotta turn around. I'm feeling nauseous. I started like getting lightheaded and everything, and then also at that point, I drank a lot of water, and so I needed to go to the bathroom. So went to the bathroom. That, like, while I was washing my hands, like drying them or whatever. That's when she came back in, and I think she got a full view of my butt. I feel really bad. Yeah, so she held me back to the room. Blah blah. Later on, we get to. That's when my parents come. We get into the vehicle and we go to my parents' house, which is 2.5 hours away from here. And the whole drive, I feel so bad for my parents for having to listen to that. I was puking the whole time. They're asking me if I wanted food. I'm like, yeah, kind of hungry at this point. So they gave me 3 options. I don't know what, I think it was applesauce, pudding, and toast. And I'm like, I don't really like applesauce. Pudding sounds really good, but I'll do toast. Get the toast, and I'm chewing it. I could not swallow it. Like as I'm chewing, I'm trying to swallow it, and it wasn't working. That was the longest I tried to eat toast, and it would not go down my throat. As I'm chewing, I fell asleep, and I woke up 30 minutes later, and the food was still in my mouth. That was disgusting. Eventually, I got pudding, and that went down a lot smoother. But yeah, then the whole time driving back, I had a lot of water in my system, and I puked all that up. And then I'd drink more water in the vehicle, and I'd puke more. It was bad. I don't know why I was puking so much in the vehicle, but we literally get to my parents' house, get out of the vehicle, sit down in the living room, and I was perfectly fine after that. Stayed at my parents for the whole Thanksgiving, because this is right before Thanksgiving. For the whole week of Thanksgiving, stayed there, worked from home. Yeah, nothing too interesting happened. It was the worst the first couple of days. Couldn't move around really, and also being at my parents' house, I didn't have a vehicle. I'm broken. I couldn't go anywhere. Like, yeah. Oh, also, here's a little clip, random, but seen a Bugatti Chiron in St. Cloud, Minnesota, in the middle of winter. Like, who is driving their Bugatti in Minnesota in the winter? Like, that's insane. Props to him. So, yeah, that whole week kind of sucked. Did a lot of basically nothing, and feel bad, but shout out to my parents for helping me through that whole week. That was nice, having someone taking care of me, even though I didn't really want it. The worry was still there. about not being able to run, and it's still here. I'm still non-weight bearing. I can't walk. I can't do anything. I still have 4 more weeks before I can take this off, before I have my next appointment, and then I'm weight bearing. But even there, I don't think I could do anything. Like, my foot barely moves up and down right now. They told me I can move up and down, just not side to side. But yeah, I'm still fearful of not being able to run, not being able to do all that stuff. So this is my journey, starting now, of my journey of trying to run a 5K. And I'll get there eventually. It'll take a while, but I'll do it. I want to film my process, and the whole, like, even at the physical therapy, I'm hoping I can film a little bit of that and then show you guys like my progress from, where I'm non-weight bearing to the time I'm running a 5K. And my next goal after that is I want to run a half a marathon. So my goal, this might be like a 2-3 parter, but my goal with this is I want to be able to run a half marathon. 13 miles, we got this. I can do this. I know I can do this, and eventually I'll get there. It's a long journey ahead of me, so you guys are coming with me, and I'll see you guys at physical therapy or whenever I take this boot off. I don't know how much I can film of that, but I'll film as much as I can to keep you guys with the whole process. It's like subconsciously my brain doesn't want me to do it. Oh. It's painful. I can't put all my weight on it. I can barely put weight on it. One more try. It's my first time since I broke my leg. Oh. Okay, that was not a step.
From the last time I videotaped myself walking, it's been exactly a week and 1 day. So I can finally walk without crutches. So I'm good. I'm a lot better. I'm a lot happier now that I can actually walk without crutches. It's a good thing. Major progress.
Today marks a big day in the process, baby. We are gonna try running for the first time since I broke my leg, and it's gonna be a light jog. I got approval from the physical therapist, so I'm gonna try that. So I'm excited. Let's do it.
Let's be walking first. Let's be walking.
Just ran a kilometer. Kind of hurts. My ankle's not ready for this, but I'm gonna make it to 10 minutes. I got this. I got this. I made it past 10 minutes.
Ankle's still killing me, but I think I can beat the mind game. It's all in here. I think I can get up to probably 2.5 kilometers, I'm hoping. So let's do this. I'm almost at my goal of 2.5, and I feel like I have so much more energy. Ankle's still killing me. I almost gave up at one point, but I'll push through at least to 2.5. I think I can keep going now. I got this. I think I got this. We're just coming up on 3K, and my ankle's killing me. I'm feeling like I want to push through, but I don't know if I want to risk it anymore. I don't know. Ankle's killing me. We got this though. 2 more K, and then I hit my goal for the year. I want to hit a 5K after breaking my ankle. I don't know what to do. I didn't make it much further. My ankle gave out on me. I almost collapsed. So we're just taking it easier now, trying to walk it off and see how we can do it. Free will has just gotten better of me. I'm in the middle of the street. While it's raining, thundering, it's supposed to be a tornado. Watch, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying life. This is kind of fun. There's a lot of water. And free will has gotten best of me. I'm just gonna run down the street because I can, baby. Also, by the way, it's midnight. And I don't know why I have this much energy. Also, foot's a lot better. I can run pretty smooth, and I like it. I love life right now. It's going good. What more can you ask for? This is free will, baby. We have just crossed 4 kilometers. My ankle is feeling pretty good. It's about 2.5 miles. We've been running at 8 kilometers per hour. So honestly, I'm impressed at my ankle so far. And granted, the time has been 30 minutes almost, but I'm pretty good. I'm happy. I'm gonna get about 5K, get a little bit more, and I'll be happy with my accomplishment after breaking my leg. We have hit our mark. We have made 5 kilometers. First 5K since I broke my leg. I'm actually really happy. I'm gonna push a little bit further just because my ankle is doing pretty good yet. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but keep pushing, right? And see what we can get. After about 50 minutes, my ankle is starting to really play a factor, but we're so close to an hour, so I'm gonna make it to an hour. We got this. Let's keep pushing. Guys, we did it. We made it our first hour running straight without stopping since we broke our leg. But we were at 9 kilometers basically, so we're gonna make it to 10 and call it a day. My ankle's killing me. I pushed up the speed, and we got this. I just accidentally hit the emergency stop button, so I had to restart. So we're just currently walking. We had 1 kilometer left. We're gonna get a kilometer, run it back. So we were at 63 minutes when I accidentally hit it. So let's set it back up. And with that, we have for sure hit a 10K. So I'm happy about that. I know for sure I was I'm over 10K, but I want to confirm it because I know last time I looked, it was at 9. So I for sure made it 1 more kilometer. So I made it 10K. Stopped once for the emergency stop on accident, but we did it. First 10K, we're halfway to a half marathon, and that's the first time since breaking my leg. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and I can't wait to get further. So see you guys in the next clip. Not me just living my childhood dream.